Hey everyone, it's Dr. D. Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful week and that you had a good Labor Day. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about your brainstorming activity because I'm getting some questions about it, and I thought if one person or two persons have questions about it, that more people probably do. First of all, your brainstorming activity truly is brainstorming. It just means start thinking about what am I interested in relation to LGBTQ studies, right? There might be some reasons why you decided, oh, I think I'm interested in taking this class and not any other class. If you were just taking the class in order to fulfill a requirement, you can still start thinking, okay, well, where do I fit in relation to LGBTQ studies or the ideas that we're talking about? So, and this is the place to just start exploring. You might be saying, why the heck is Dr. Vetloff asking us to start thinking about our final project, which is due December 4th in the fourth week of the semester? And it's just so that you can start really thinking about what you want to do. I would like your archive, your final project, to be something that you do for you. You'll get a grade on it, but also that you do for you, that you carry forward into the world. I sent a few links to ideas about what an archive is in my last page, but you can also just think about this as a toolkit. It's a collection of resources. I do have some examples of previous student archives for you. They're for a different class, WGS 201, so there'll be slightly different topics. And also the due dates don't look at the due dates at all because everything's due in June and July and you don't want to have to work backwards. Okay, so those are available in the media gallery. If you look here on the course navigation, you get to media gallery and here's pointers for brainstorming activities. There's the picture of Billie Jean, my dog. I did create a thing about thinking intersectionally, and so if you're interested in that, you might want to take a look at that. I've referenced it in this Pointers for Brainstorming Activities. It's totally optional on your part, but it can help get you thinking. And then also this is something we'll be looking at more specifically later in the semester, but a little whiteboard film on what Judith Butler, queer theorist, calls the logic of cultural intelligibility. And it's very interested in this sort of heteronormative set of binary expectations for folks and how they don't really work. Okay, so take a look at that if you're interested. You want to get more ideas. You don't have to, but in this one, in the pointers, you'll see some examples of student archives. You don't have to do your archive in the way that everyone else does it. You just need to come up with a format that helps you collect your ideas, right? Most of this will be digital, but it can be as simple as a Google Doc, and it can be as elaborate as maybe a game. I'm only saying that because I have some gaming studies people or interactive media studies in the class. If you're like, no way, I just want to do a Google Doc, that is fine, or Google Slides, okay? I'm more interested in the process and your ideas and how you curate your sources, right? Okay, so the major assignment is here. You'll see the different steps in the major assignment, and this is just step one, right? You're not even promising that this is what you will do, right? You're just starting to brainstorm. It is not until September 30 that you make a proposal that says, I think I'm going to do this, right? It's a little more formal. Even then, you can still change your mind, right? It's not a thing where you have to make a contract and tell me what you're doing. Okay. Really think about this for you. Okay. So when you get to your brainstorm activity, if you looked at the assignments, you'll see, wait, where do I click in order to turn this in? You actually click here or under your collaborations to find your collaborations. You can also see them here in collaborations. Hopefully that shows. And you won't see a list of 39 collaborations because this is my screen here and it shows all of the collaborations I have. You'll see one or at most two collaborations that you have with me or perhaps with other students in the class. But you want to look at your sandbox. And let's look at this one. It's my test student. That would be me. And some different things that I've just done as if I were a student. I'm also interested in this topic. So I just wrote down, I've been really interested in how the pronoun they, which has always been used as a kind of indefinite pronoun, now is officially regarded as proper by Webster's Dictionary, a bunch of style guides, AP Style Guide, APA Style Guide, MLA Style Guide. So the pronoun they that we've been using for a long time to think about people in the singular without mentioning gender is now officially grammatically correct. I could talk for a long time about that in my archive, but I've decided not to go there. But to just think about what that means, right, for people who might decide to think of themselves as non-binary in terms of their gender, right? And if you're interested in that, that would be something to investigate more, perhaps. But in this brainstorm right now, I'm really curious, how does that work in other languages? Let's say a language where gender is, where pronouns are not gendered, right? There are some languages where the personal pronoun isn't he or she, it's just, the human, right? And so that would be interesting. And there are some other languages where gender is highly inflected, let's say Spanish or Russian, where, everything is gendered, including the table and the chair and the room and things like that. So does the singular they in English transfer over to those other languages? Well, let's just say I'm interested in Spanish as one of the other languages that I've studied or have been studying. And I'm interested, right, in how pronouns shape our understanding of gender and whether there might be similar discussions of gender non-specific pronouns in other languages, right? I do know from talking with a friend that the they doesn't work so well in, let's say, Italian. I wonder what happens in Spanish, okay? Then I write down here, I'm not sure what my archive will look like, but I can start from here. And then what you'll see is that Dr. Detloff has commented on my archive sandbox and brainstorming activity, just saying, hey, this is a good place to start. Maybe you should narrow your focus, maybe not all Spanish language cultures and countries, maybe pick a few just because there's a lot. But here's where Dr. D will comment on your brainstorm sandboxes, okay? If you have any questions about the assignment, but more broadly about what it means to think about an archive, feel free to ask me. I will try my best to continue to show you different examples, but just remember that it's not the form that I'm looking for, right? It can be in multiple forms. It's the process of collecting and curating sources that make sense to you. And so you may decide to do it in a form that isn't exactly what the examples look like, and that would be okay. That's why you and I are going to be corresponding a lot through our sandbox so that you and I can help think about what the best form would be. Okay? It can be simple or it can be more elaborate. It depends on what you want to bring to it and also what you want to say in your archive. I hope you're having a good day, and please don't hesitate to email me or send me a chat or sign up for one of my many office hours and appointments that I have in my Google Calendar. I'd love to talk with you. Take care.